Hello everyone. So today was another interesting little project, and I thought I would document this because I thought it was fascinating. And when I find these little situations, I like to document them so everyone else can benefit. I have my good old-fashioned car charger connected here, and he is charging. I have the positive terminal. I'm basically focusing on the second row right here. I have my positive connected to the positive, negative connected to the negative. You'll notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells. That makes up a 12-volt battery. So I'm diagnosing the second battery. The first battery is working really good. Second battery has been acting strange. And so I actually disconnected the batteries entirely. I connected the second battery directly to the inverter to bypass this first battery. Basically, I'm just diagnosing why this back battery has not been charging very well. And I stumbled onto something very interesting. So I'm going to try to do this with my one hand. It's really hard to do this one-handed. I need to get me a little camera mount or something that will enable me to. If I measure this cell, now when you measure a cell, you're basically measuring either side of the watering hole, okay? You'll see that this cell is 1.7, 1.8. It's really low. Well, this whole back battery has not been charging very well, and I've been trying to figure out why. So I went on to measure this one. Again, it's about 2, 1.9, 2. So again, it's low. And this cell, super low, which I thought was, oh, that's interesting. This cell here, however, is 5 volts. Really fascinating, huh? You would think at 5 volts, that water in there would just be bubbling like the dickens, right? Well, it's not. So, and then the rest of these cells over here, the other side of the, no, got to do that over there. Anyway, you can see if I can get it 1.9, and then the other cells are fine. This cell definitely is got issues. This cell may not have issues. It's just that it's adjacent to. I don't know, but I am definitely going to replace this cell. But check this out. This is why I started the video. I have my charger connected, and I want to charge just this one row. So I am going to turn this on. I'll turn it to the bottom switch. This is the way my little charger works. Basically, I'm going to do the 35 amp charge. This guy is now charging the row. But check out what this battery's doing. Let's see, is that working? Actually, I should reverse these so that the polarity is correct. When you measure your batteries, it doesn't really matter so much the polarity. Oh, that's really hard to do. Anyway, you can say he's 3.8 volts, and I'm currently charging this cell. So you would expect, let me see if I can set the camera right here. Oh, look at that. You would expect that if I measure, I'm going to take my 2 probes, I'm going to measure the entire row. So I'm going to put my positive here, and I'm going to put my negative over there, right there. Oh, my dumb thumb. There we go. Set my other one right there. So I want to measure this whole row. Oh. Yeah, that was a little mishap, but that's okay. We're back to the video. Okay, so if you notice the lid, I just have it kind of wedged up against the solar panel, so it's not really super good, but I wonder if I can get it just there. That's begging for trouble. I'm telling you, begging for trouble. All right, so if I measure this and I put positive here on the positive, negative way over here on the other side for negative, you would expect me to get 12 volts because that's what I'm trying to charge. But I'm 18 volts. So I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So I went through and I measured all of these individual cells. You can see that they're taking a charge. They're slowly coming up, 2.0, but look at these 2 cells right here. 3.9, that's already a problem. This one, crazy. 5.9. Now, what was happening on my inverter, reason I'm doing this video is I had my inverter trying to charge this battery, and it was like it was fishing. It was going, try to charge, and then it would give up, and then it'd go up, and then it would go down. It was going up, and it would go all the way up to 65 volts, 66 volts, and then come back down. It was like all over the map, and I'm like, what is going on? So when I came back to diagnose this battery, it is definitely these two cells. So I plan to replace these two cells today. That is going to make a big difference on this back battery here. I'm going to replace this cell first, then see how this one's behaving. But honestly, I think I just need to grab both of those and replace them. So anyway, I wanted to show this. So this video can help you understand that as you're measuring these cells, you're measuring either side of the watering holes each time that you do that. But you really, these lead acid batteries can go crazy sometimes. And in this case, the voltage is way too high. Now, there could be a hole in here. There could be a hole between the two cells on either side here, here, or here. There's a number of reasons why I could be pulling such a high voltage out of this cell. And so until I pull it, I'm not going to know for sure. But anyway, I plan to pull that here shortly. And but I wanted to demonstrate how the battery voltage, even though they are connected in parallel here, you can have one battery become the dominant battery and the second battery just really atrophying and not really taking much of a charge, which means you're cooking your front battery way harder than you're supposed to. So I recommend everybody just, it's so important to measure all 48 cells on your batteries. Take the time, get a little logbook, and make sure to write down the voltages and track them over time. Because these two cells don't just die instantly. They probably would have demonstrated over several months or a year. These two cells would have eventually, you would have noticed a pattern where these were running crazy and the rest of them were starting to atrophy. So anyway, there you go, everyone. I hope everyone enjoys these videos. So before I ended the video, I thought I'd show what the Sunny Island was doing on this side that caused me to start investigating this. I'm going to go ahead and boot it up from scratch. Now, I'm currently only connected to the one battery, basically from the cabinet. I came back and I just bypassed the Y adapter entirely and just connected to that second back battery. Okay. So when it's done booting and I get to standby now, when I start this, you may even see the display dim out just a little bit. Like I was like, what is going on with that second battery? It's just not charging very well. Now, while it is in this, it's already dropped to 20% because that's what it's supposed to do when there's a low battery voltage. And the charge op is probably going to be boost. Yep. Now, the battery voltage right now is super low. It's 37.5. In fact, I'm surprised these Sunny Islands even are turning on. Now, if I go to meters, go into meters, come down to external meters, enter, and I go to generator state. Okay, you can see right now it's bat and it's on warm and it's counting down 22 seconds. This is the 1 minute, like when it wants to connect to the generator, it's going to connect for 1 minute. And so when it gets to 10 seconds, that's when it's going to connect. Now I'm going to go back to meters, menu 100. I'm going to go down to compact meters. And then we're going to look here, watch this. You'll hear the click, it'll go click, and then you might hear it going, because it's fishing, trying to find a battery charge voltage. And it's not going to let it, it can't dial it in because of those two cells. And there's my battery voltage is at 37, 38. Now there, it just connected. Look at that, it jumps all the way up. Did you hear that click, click? It's trying to figure out how to charge this battery and it can't figure it out. And then if I go back up here, you can see that right now, the this number right here is the shunt, the battery current. And if we come down here to battery 2, and anyway, it tried to connect and it just went like the G appeared for a second, and then it was like, and you could see the arrows going back and forth, and it was trying to figure it out, and then it finally gave up. Now, if I go back into meters, it's probably trying to connect to that external generator again. Generator state, bat, warm. Yeah, 13 seconds. So it's counting down. It's going to try to connect to the generator again. This time I'll be on the main menu. You can see the G appear for just a moment, and you can still hear the inverter click, and then it goes click, click, and it's trying to find that charge voltage, which you can't do with those two bad cells. So watch here. It'll click any sec. There it goes, connected to the G, and then it gave up, unfortunately, because it's just too low. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Anyway, isn't that amazing that 2 cells can bring an entire battery down? Now, sometimes a bad cell will just atrophy and it just gets like half a volt or 1 volt, and it just doesn't carry the weight. But in this particular case, those 2 cells are wreaking havoc on that poor battery. So I'm going to pull those cells, and we're going to check to see what's going on with them. I bet you there's either an internal short inside the cell, or there could be a hole inside the cell connecting it physically to a neighboring cell of some sort. So anyway, hope everyone enjoys these videos. I'll post this here shortly. Ciao, everyone.